Always add a bit more powder if you want to. So with our mixing trowel, we just bring this together with the water. Now you can get different coloured adhesives. You can get a white powdered adhesive, and you can get obviously this grey adhesive. We're going to be using grey tiles. We're going to be using grey grout, so that's why we're using the dark coloured adhesive. If you're using white grout at home on a floor or on the wall or whatever you're doing, always best to use a white powder, because if you get any grey coming through the tile line and you haven't washed it out properly, when you come to grout it, you'll actually see it, and it's right. That's coming together nicely, like so. And try and get all the lumps out if you can. If you've got a mixing drill at home, then obviously you can do it with that. I'm quite happy with using our trowel here. So that's the sort of consistency you're looking for. So I'll show you what to do next. We'll just bring this over. Now I'm just going to do a few straight cuts. Lay a few straight tiles, and then obviously as we get through laying more tiles, what we do is I'll show you how to cut with a wet cutter, and then obviously how to cut with our ruby cutter. So first things first, obviously we know our starting point here. We've got our lines on the floor. So what we want to do is just spread some of this adhesive, like so. Good thing about rapid set adhesive is it goes off pretty quickly. What I normally do is just lay a section first of all, get 3, 4, maybe 5 tiles down off of your lines, and then once that's gone off, then you can start pushing the tiles against each other, and they're not going to move out of position. So what we'll do enough to do, let's say a bank of 6 tiles. We'll just spread this adhesive out. Now, like I say, if your floor's running out, you will need to get a deep notch trowel. But our floor's nice and level. You can actually level your tiles in, but like I say, our floor is nice and level, so I'm just going to go to that today. Right, let's just get my pencil, and we just mark this off so I roughly know where I'm going to be coming with my bank of 6 tiles. So I'll roughly be coming there, so I can wipe just some of that excess off so it doesn't go off. So that's what we do, like so. And then again, get your tile, lay it on your point where you've marked it. Get your lines nice and straight, so you're on your line on your back edge of tile, on your side of your tile. And I know I'm bang on my line there. Now, a lot of tilers, they use spacers. Some tilers don't use spacers. It's entirely up to you. Obviously, if you're going to be doing it for the first time, then I'd highly recommend that you use spacers. So get a couple of tiles down on your lines. I've got exactly like that. And then once you're happy with your lines that it's all going through, want to just get some tile spacers in there. Now you can lay tile spacers within the joints and leave them in there. On the floor tiles, what we normally do is just place these in. That's still on my outside line, just bring that across a little bit, like so. Again, spread that apart, get another couple of spaces in there. And obviously once this adhesive's gone off, good thing about tile spacers is I pull them out, I can reuse them. So good, good invention for a bit of plastic. So again, lay your tile like so. Get another one down. And if you just get your head down to almost the level of the tile, you'll see, if you need to push it down a little bit, just make sure they're nice and level. So again, not a job you want to rush really, just take your time. So again, tile spacer on the top section. What you want to do is get it on each corner like so, and then you're going to have a 4mm, nice 4mm joint running all the way through. Gives you a nice little bit of time, the rapid set. Obviously if you're working with standard set, you won't be able to walk on it straight away. So we just pull them over, just make sure you're happy with all your lines, like so. And then what we do is we will just clean up our edges, because once this stuff goes off, you'll have to get yourself hammer and chisel or hammer and bolster to knock it off. That's nice and clean, like so. And like I say, I'd normally leave that for half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour, let that go off. Once that's gone off and you're happy that it's nice and secure, pull your tile spacers off, start spreading the rest of your bathroom, and then obviously you can then start laying your tiles. But what I mean is when your tile goes off, you can actually push that in there, and you can push against the tile, and them tiles don't go anywhere, they're nice and secure. So what you want to do is you want to continue that all the way through your bathroom, and then sometimes we do the cuts as we go, all depends the size of the bathroom floor, or we lay all the full tiles first and then we go back and doing all the cutting. So obviously once I've laid a few more tiles, we can come back, I'll show you a few cuts with a wet tile, and then I'll show you a few cuts with a ruby tile cutter. Right, okay, now I've laid them final tiles. That didn't take no longer than 10 minutes really. Obviously the most important thing is make sure they're square, make sure you're happy with all the joints before your adhesive goes off, and obviously the most time consuming bit is obviously doing all your cuts, maybe around your pottery or your cut to your walls, cut to your architraves. So what we want to do is just clean off that line of adhesive. So, and then once that's gone off, obviously because, like I say, because that line's been clean, I know that I'm not going to be having to chop out adhesive that's come off. You could do it like that, or alternatively, once you've cleaned it off, if you're not happy that there might be a few bits lying about, just get your sponge, run that through. Just another little tip for you. I'm happy as anything that that's all nice and square, all my joints are the same. With your straight edge, what you could do is just lay this up against your tiles like so, and as you can see, every single one of them tiles is touching along that straight edge. Okay, now we've given our tiles half an hour to set. They've set nice and firm because we've used the rapid set adhesive. So what I'll do now is I'll just pull out all the spacers because we can reuse these. We put these in our little tub that we've got. And then once I've pulled all these spacers out of the tiles, then I'll move over the other side. We've finished that bit of floor, and then I'll show you some cuts. Okay, now we've knocked some more adhesive up. We'll start to spread this side. So again, with a trowel, just work it away from the tiles. Exactly the same as the other side, really. Right, okay, again, exactly the same procedure, lay your tile. Now, I know that our floor is pretty level, like I said earlier in our video clip. If you're unsure that your floor's not too level, what you want to do is obviously grab yourself a spirit level, which I'll just get off my bench here, and you can actually level all your tiles in. Put them across the tile, push them down, and then just get them nice and level. I mean, that's lovely and level. So, also, if you find your floor is running out too much, you can spread your adhesive. Get yourself a tile. Just clean that up there. Put that to one side. And then what you could do is just dab the back of your tiles, like so. What you don't want to do is create any air pockets. And what you could do is just place this on top of the adhesive and slowly work this in, and then you can find yourself a level. You can push it down at one side because you know the adhesive's under there,
and then you know that you can get that level, like so. But that's not only if your floor is obviously running out. So I'll take that tile up because obviously there's too much adhesive on that. And then I'll re-press that, put that tile to one side. That's just a tip for you, obviously if the floor is running out. Again, get your tile in. And then we'll start putting our spacers in. Great idea, spacers, because you can always pull them out of the tile. They're not very expensive to buy, but you can pull them out of the tile and then obviously you can reuse them. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just finish this all the way through. Once I finish this, then we'll come back and I'll show you the cuts to the wall and the cuts to the underside of the. It won't come together and it'll be too runny. So slowly just keep adding the grout to the water. I've got about 8 square metres on this floor, so it'll probably take 3/4 of this bag. What you want to do is knock all the lumps out of it and get a nice creamy consistency, and I'll show you that once I've brought it all together. As you can see, it's starting to come together now. I'll just add a bit more into there, like so. And that should do us. Once that's all brought together, that'll be just the mixture I'm looking for. Right, okay, that's the sort of mixture you're looking for. So what I'll do is just bring that together a bit more, then I'll leave it in the bucket for about 5 minutes, and then once it's been left to stand for 5 minutes or so, I'll then start to grout the floor. Okay, now I've left our grout for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's a nice consistency I'm looking for. So what we do, just put some grout on the floor. Now because we've got white grout on our tile line here, sometimes we do tape up, put some low tack tape up, save the grout riding up the white line, because this is a light grey. If I was using an anthracite, dark black or something, then I would do that. But like I say, we're using a grey. What we want to do is get our squeegee, and then what we do is just pull it and start working it right into the joint. Make sure you push it right down into your joint. Like so. Just let the squeegee do the work, backwards and forwards like that. Wipe it through, like so. Then what you've done, once you've done an area, just get your squeegee and wipe off the excess as much as you can. And as you're pulling it back, you might see, just have a look over your grout, make sure you've got no pimple holes or whatever. Like I say, just work this in nicely. Make sure you push it right the way down into the joint. Because we washed this floor yesterday, we've got no water in the joints at all. Now if you fix and grout on the same day, you've got a tendency, if you wash out your floor and there's water still between your joints, what happens is when you start to push the grout into the joint, it reverses itself and then the water comes to the top and it takes ages to dry. Anyway, just keep wiping this in. The white grout is a nice grout to use, so on a white tiled floor or something. 3 washes and you're out the door, polish it up, all done. You find when you use a dark grout, you've got to give it at least 3, 4, maybe 5 washes. Right, okay, what you want to do is carry on that procedure all the way through, all over the tiles. Leave it for 10-15 minutes, that's what we'll do, we leave it 10-15 minutes, come back to us and I'll show you how we just wash it off. Right, okay, we've grouted our floor all the way through, we've left it for about 10-15 minutes, now it's time to start wiping our grout off. Now I showed you in some previous videos about washing grout off. What you want to do is get your sponge, get a nice sponge as well. Don't have too much water on it, keep it flat, and then just wipe across the joints, like so. You want to do this all the way across the floor. Try not to make it too wet. Right, on your first wash you just want to carry out that procedure all the way through. Leave it another 5 minutes, get yourself another clean bucket of water, wash again, same procedure, leave 5 minutes, get another clean bucket of water, and 3 times should do you. And I'll show you that once I've carried out the final wash. Right, okay, that's our final wash today. I've given that 4 washes now. Tomorrow morning that will be a little bit dusty, so I'll get a nylon cloth and just give that a good buff up, and that'll look lovely, that floor. So another job completed. Thanks very much for watching the video. I hope the videos that we're showing you at the moment are helping you to carry out any work that you're carrying out in the house yourself. Remember, all your tools and materials can be purchased through tradesupermarket.com, and please stay tuned for more of Tommy's Trade Secrets.